Let's go Scroggins! Let's go Scroggins! Let's go Scroggins!
Oh, another one for Scroggins. And he has put together now 4 in a row, and this match is all even.
The Scroggins just absolutely dominates the Southwestern region. And when he comes out on tours for the few tournaments he bowls, he does very well out here as well. Now pressure on Lawrence. He comes in high, leaving the 6 and the 10.
What happened on that shot?
Well, it just looked as if his direction was right of his target. Ball never got far enough to the left. Fortunate, the 7-pin falls. No, that's not what he was looking for, but he puts his hands together as if to say, thank you for not being a split. There are going to be 4 lefties bowling today as Gale watches. And that could make the lanes dry out faster on the left-hand side. Walter Ray Williams Jr., who'll be bowling in the next match, the only right-hander, has the fresh condition on his side.
Perhaps an advantage, Walter Ray, but we'll get to that in the next match. Lawrence up in the 7th frame, doesn't appear fazed by the television lights tonight.
Once again, fortunate to break down the split. As he came back, you could see he was it was like he was looking for help. But he's looking to his ball rep, as the players are wont to do.
Lawrence trying to convert the spare here in the 7th frame. We got a tight one in match 2. Picks it up, no problem. We're in match 2. The winner will face Walter Ray Williams Jr.
Bend, Oregon, about 3 hours from where I live, and it is gorgeous and tough. Lots of force carry.
You tore it up more ways than one.
Yeah, no course record.
Scroggins up in the 7th, working on a 4-bagger.
Well, that's the first time we've seen the half 7 knocked out. Great shot from Scroggins. More pressure applied, leads up to 14. Watch the 4-pin as it goes into the sideboard. It'll kick the 7-pin out. Bang. Boy, that's the pro's friend.
Scroggins' first championship appearance of the year. Oh, I loves that shot. Last year, made one television show in Albuquerque. He finished 5th, lost to Gary Skidmore, who's from that area, 278 to 222. Best finish this year, 23rd.
Come on, baby!
Oh.
4, 6, 10, and the 14-pin lead is gone.
Marshall, can you make this?
Well,
I know you can.
It's, the only way to make it is to bounce it out, or you get the ball to the right of the 6-pin and slide it over. But he's going to go for the 2. If it bounces out, fine. But once in a blue moon, it's not going to happen.
Well, working on strikes, better to go for 2, I would imagine. Get all the pin count you can. 174 through 8.
14-pin lead just turned into a 1-pin deficit. Now Lawrence has that lead.
Oh, what a beautiful shot. Rick Lawrence.
And Rick Lawrence gives himself a round of applause.
Well, when you throw a good shot, why not? Lawrence, we've seen Gail a few times in the stands. 4 children, Kayla, Matt, Ashley, and Elena. She is 18, Elena, and going to Southwestern College, so he'd like to pick up a few bucks, help at college tuition.
Lawrence with a possible 245, Scroggins a possible 234. He can keep his destiny in his own hands with a strike up in the 9th. And he does it. Frank DeSocia, the tournament chairperson, a good friend of pro bowling.
He does a terrific job. This has been a sensational week. Scroggins needs to strike.
Here comes the messenger. Actually, the messenger didn't need it. 4-pin fell over into the 7. Okay. Looks like the head pin's going to go to the sideboard. Looks like it's going to come back, take care of business, but he didn't need that help.
Oh, staring him down. Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, Lawrence isn't really paying that much attention as he moves over to the right-hand chair to get ready for his 10th frame.
Playing musical chairs. He's off to the right, and Scroggins now in the 10th. Another big strike, and Marshall, what's the setup here?
Well, right now for Scroggins, I said earlier, he can shoot 234. He's now 1 pin behind. With a strike here, he can take a 9-pin lead. 234 would force Lawrence to get 2 strikes in the 10th.
Scroggins, he was bowling back home when the Virginia Beach show was on last week. The AC Delco and his son Ross, who's 3, asked, "Dad, how come you're not on the show?" He goes, "Wait till next week." And here he is. Those 3-year-olds can put a lot of pressure on you to perform.
Boy, and really the first time that Scroggins has not been able to carry. His carry's been very good. He just hasn't hit the pocket every time. Well, we'll see the familiar 4-pin dancing around the bottom of that 7. And the reaction of his father and his brother Mark. Well, he makes the 7-pin. He shoots 223. There still is a very good chance of a tie, and if there's a tie, there'll be a 1-shot sudden death roll-off. Lawrence right now needs 9 pins on the first ball, a spare, and a strike to win by 1. Any combination of 19 in the 10th frame.
Pressure shot.
That's the right combination. Well, he's come through 2 games in a row. Once against the Hall of Famer Mike Albee, and now this game against Mike Scroggins.
And I know he's not thinking about the 2 guys on top just yet. Take them one at a time. But you have Walter Ray Williams Jr., number 2, and the top seed, Parker Bowe. Oh, there's a winner. We will have our Brunswick tip of the week. Marshall Holman coming back here in just a minute. Rick Lawrence moves on to face Walter Ray Williams Jr. 45 winner. Rick Lawrence now moves on, and he will take on one of the game's great players, Walter.